Hey everybody, Eric Dorward here at the Spartan Rocketry Club. So while the big old fins are drying, I figured I might as well continue doing some work. And what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be adding little decorative or building little decorative elements. So here's the box again. The feet down here are tubes, and the dowels we already worked with. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to build them. They shouldn't be all that bad because I've already done some of the work. So I think I'm only going to build one of them. Anyway, so I need this sheet, and I'm going to punch out a couple of the dowels or the circles here. Don't need them all. And the instructions say that I'm going to put one right at the end, and I'm going to put one at the other line that I marked. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a little ring of glue around where they're supposed to go. And then I'm going to tack them in place, basically. So there we go. I'm just going to spin it around here to spread the glue and hopefully keep it kind of perpendicular. Wasn't quite, but whatever. And this part, I'm going to have to actually add some glue because there isn't any. But I don't really need to add the glue to the other side the way I'm doing right here, because putting the glue on the dowel itself and then spinning it, or pushing the disc rather, pretty much pushed glue where it ought to be. All right, so that's not perpendicular. I do want to make sure that it is, and you can check that just by like spinning it around in your hands, and it shouldn't wobble back and forth. If it's wobbling, then as you're viewing it, then you'll know it's not perpendicular. So I think actually the paper is a little bit warped too, so it's not going to be perfect, but it'll be close enough. The other one goes right down at the end. Just put a little bit of that there. This one I'm not going to do that way. I'm just going to force it down, right down at the end like so. That does end up smearing the glue kind of all over the bottom of this thing, but that's not actually that big a deal. This is the internal structure for the lander leg. You know, it has a little foot on it, but this isn't the foot. All right, so those look pretty decent. I'm going to let that dry for a moment. In the meantime, I'm going to build the actual foot. So the foot needs two, two of these rings. By the way, you could cut these out. I'm not bothering, at least with these parts. And it needs one of those. So I didn't punch these out on the first one because they just fell out of their own. You could probably just push them out, but if not, break out your hobby knife. You probably can just push it with the finer tip of the blade. All right, so that's lovely. The instructions then say we're going to glue these two together. And they suggest that you might want to use the excess bit of dowel here, which remember, this is the part that I didn't use. And I'm going to use it to line things up after I put the glue on. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal. So I'm going to put some glue here, and I'm going to spread it out a little bit with my wood scrap here. I do want it to get it pretty close to the edge, if at all possible. So I'm going to put it together. I'm going to try to get them basically lined up. But I don't really need to do an excellent job of that yet, because I'm going to use the dowel scrap here to make sure that they actually do go together. So there we go. So just push the dowel through. Now, naturally, I do not want to glue this in place. That would be bad if I glued it in place. So yeah, it's fine for now. There, removed it. And then the last thing I need to do with this is the plane circle is just going to cap off one end of this. So again, a little bit of glue on this. spread it out as necessary, and then kind of cap it off. Now this, you want to have this centered, of course, but there really is there's no like alignment or anything to do that. So you are just going to kind of be eyeballing this as best you can. I mean, I don't think it's exactly centered, but it's close enough. So there we go. All right, that's the assembled foot. Now, the next thing that needs to happen is these were the tubes that I used or that I had marked already. Um, as I mentioned, they go in between the big gaping hole of the giant fin that we've already made. That's what the lines are for. But this is going to be held into place inside the tube by the rings we put on this already. So I actually do need to wait a little bit on this one. But eventually these are going to slide in and then the foot will go on after the fact. I guess I could probably glue the foot on now, but that's probably not the world's best idea. So short little video here. I'm going to make the other two of these and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video where it is back to the fins.